Mari Mythology. Published by Wikipedia. Mari Mythology is a collection of myths belonging to the Mari folk heritage. It has many similar features and motifs with Maris neighboring people, like the Komis, Udmore and Mordvins. Many of their myths are also distantly related to the myths of other Finno-Ugric peoples. The biggest literary work on Mari mythology is the Mari epic, Jujorno, written by the Russian Anatoly Spiridonov in 2002. The epic was originally written in Russian, despite Spiridonov being very knowledgeable on the Mari language and Mari folk poetry. However, a Mari translation by Anatoly Mokchev was provided alongside the publication of the original epic. In 2015, the epic was translated into Estonian by Arvo Valton. The creation and cosmology. The Mari creation myth is a typical Uralic creation myth. In the beginning there was an eternal ocean in which a duck swam. She looked for land to lay her eggs on. When she finally found land, she could only fit 2 of her 3 eggs there. Out of the first egg came a duck called Jum, who started work with creating the world. And out of the second egg came a duck called John, who went out to create the underworld. Out of the third egg later came Targoltos. The Maris believed the sky revolved around the northern star, held up by the pillar of the world Kava Menj. The end of the world lies in the north, beyond the 3 rivers Tupsa, Perza and Voya. History and mythology. Much of Mari mythology is mythologized history. The story of Kumbalat is based on the historical 12th century chief of Koksar. Poltos is based on Boltus, a historical chief of Malmaz. Jujorno mentions several named chiefs of the ancient Maris. Some of them, like Kukarka and Tukansur, are often considered historical. Gods, heroes and other beings. Oz Kuga Jumo, Great White God. The chief god and the god of the sky and light. One of the 3 main gods. Juman Udor, daughter of Kuga Jumo. Onar, mythological giant, the ancestor of Maris, son of Kuga Jumo and Emlandava. Onaj, son of Onar, sorcerer and the husband of Piamber, the mediator between Kuga Jumo and the human world. Emlandava, Earth Mother. Nonkok Pator, a hero made out of dough. Kumbalat, chief of Koksar. He was buried by the river Nemdo. Sali, an old forgotten Mari hero, a hunter. Izam, Salajay's father. Alataj, Izam's father, from the lands of the 7 Great Lakes. Tols, god of the moon, protector of marriage and birth. Kase, god of the sun. Kodorikuva, forest mother, goddess of hunting. Kajamat, the god of the dead and the underworld, brother to Kuga Jumo. Pirozo, one of the 3 main gods, god of fate. Kudorko, one of the 3 main gods, god of thunder. Piamber, daughter of Jumo, married Onaj against his father's will and thus had to live in the men's world. Azoran, Kijamat's helper, who brings the dead to the underworld. Akpater, hunter, went to Keksan and later Elnet, together with Odo and Coleman, the 3 Pators and the grandchildren of Onaj and Piamber. Odo, lumber, went north to Udmorsha. Coleman, horseman, went to Osvik and the Kama area. Shur, son of Akpater, took his people to the southern areas of Volga, ancestor of Hill Maris. Torkin, leader of the eastern Maris, became a Karamay with the name Sultan. Ryazan, skilled horseman from the Urals. Almakai, organizer of Mari meetings. Kukarka, the head cart of all carts, together with Simale, the rulers of the northeast Mari county of Juksern. Surma, the Udmort ruler of Surma, the ancient home of Udmore. Kulmez, an Udmort hero, the only trustworthy friend of Surma. Savi, a female hero, daughter of Kulmez. Poltos, ruler of the Kama Maris, built the Malmaz stronghold. Pektamor, chief of what was probably a vassal state of Juksern, later to be known as Tukansur, friend of Targoltos, occupied Surma and pushed the Udmore to the east. Targoltos, an evil spirit of chaos who manipulates people's thinking, brother of Jumo and Kajamat. Juman Sokon, mother and counselor of Kuga Jumo. Sokon Ava, goddess of birth and fertility. Akmazik, a hero who was foreseen to defeat Tukansur. Uvanij, sorcerer and daughter of Tukansur. Ospandas, gray beard, the spirit of ancestors. A Karamay. Mardes, god of wind. Kugorik, with Kotkar and Akpater, the oldest Mari heroes. Nikos Akarame of the northern Maris. Os Kuga Pertis, the white infinity. Nature. Komi mythology. Published by Wikipedia. Komi mythology is the traditional mythology of the Komi peoples of northern Russia. Gods and spirits. N. Strength. The good creator god, and the enemy of Kul. He took the form of a swan. Kul, or Omel, weakness. A god of water and of the dead, and the evil creator god. He took the form of a grebe. Vesa, another water spirit. Like Kul, he could be malicious and had to be appeased by throwing bread, a stick, cakes or tobacco into the water. He was the friend of millers. Olis or Olesia, a hearth spirit, the equivalent of the Russian domovoi. Under the name Rhynisha, he is a water spirit associated with baths, appearing as a little hunchbacked old man with a white beard. Ika, father, or parent. A spirit who protects a specific place. They became enemies of Stephen of Perm. Paludi Ika, father cornflower. A spirit who forbade peasants to leave the house on the 20th of July. If they disobeyed, their corn was ravaged. Pivsiensa, master of the bathhouse, the equivalent of the Russian Bannock. He appears as a little man in a red hat with fiery eyes. Voipal, god of the cold north wind and of the night. His name means, north, midnight wind. Vorsa, spirit of the forest, the equivalent of the Russian Leshy. Each forest has its own Vorsa. Hunters offered furs, bread and salt or tobacco to him in the hope he would help them catch game. Creation myth. A duck egg gave birth to En and Omel, the spirits of good and evil respectively. En took the form of a swan, Omel that of a grebe. They rose from the bottom of the primordial ocean to create the world. Soul. In Komi religious belief, the human soul had a double. The Ord is born with each human being and gives a premonition of death either to the person who is to die or to one of their family. Underworld. The land of the dead was usually thought to be far to the north of the living, beyond mountains, rivers and forests. The Komi equivalent of the Styx was Sir Yu, river of pitch. Dead souls were assigned various means of crossing the river, according to their sins in this world. An iron bridge, a shaky beam, a thin pole or a cobweb. After this the dead had to climb a huge slippery mountain. This was only possible if the person had led a good life and had strong fingernails. Traditionally, the Komis kept their fingernail clippings so they could be buried with them for use in the afterlife. Shamans and sorcerers. The Komis had shamans and believed in sorcerers and witches. The most notorious witch in Komi folklore is Yoma. Video